Good morning, everyone. It took us 200,000 years to turn from hunters to farmers, and another 12,000 years to turn from farmers to an industrial society. But this 21st century is a little different. Today, the change is not taking place in thousands of years or in centuries. We are changing the way we live, we talk, our jobs, our education, every few years. But the change is good, no? Then why am I here talking about failure? Consider this. You are 2,000 times less likely to get killed in an airplane crash than in a car accident. You know why? Because every time before a plane takes a flight, all possible avenues of failure are eliminated. That's a good strategy, no? By cutting down on failures, your chances of succeeding becomes high. So, I am here today to talk about 5 major ways you can fail in this century so that you are better prepared for it. Let's start. So the first and the easiest way you can fail in this century is by fearing fire. Let us consider the scenario when our ancestors first saw fire. Let us call 2 of them as Bo Singh and Yo Singh. So when Bo first looked at fire, he was scared of it. It was hot. It could burn him. But when Yo looked at this amazing ball of fire, he told Bo, let's do something with it. Bo was like, no, are you mad? But Yo went ahead and he experimented with fire. Soon he realized that he could use fire to stay warm, scare off animals, and to cook food. But our little Bo Singh, he was still scared. He was still living in dark, braving the cold, eating raw flesh. And by the time he realized the use of fire, Yo had already moved ahead and was building superior things using fire. Technology is the fire of 21st century. And a lot of us are like Bo Singh. We fear technology. We fail to understand that technology is just a better way of doing things. Look at TED. Billions of people can watch these amazing videos from anywhere in the world. Just because the head of TED, Chris Anderson, he didn't fear technology. Look at the founders of Uber, Amazon, Facebook, WhatsApp. These are those people who didn't fear technology. They embraced it, and they have changed the world we live in today. So, the choice is yours. Either be like Bo Singh or be like Yo Singh. Let's talk about the second way of failing in this century. And the second way you can fail in this century is by considering your education completed with your schooling or your degree. Let's look at the top 10 skills required by 2020 according to a report by the World Economic Forum. Some of them are creativity, critical thinking, complex problem solving. But my question is our education system even focused on teaching us these skills? Well, the answer is a big no. Our education system today is just making us competent at reproducing what is being taught. The focus is on mass production of people, just like in factories. It is very much evident from the language we use today. We call ourselves a product of 2005 batch, or I got placed in Goldman Sachs. For God's sake, you're a human being, not a factory product. So, today, our education system has reduced to a way not to make us grow intellectually, but just to collect more certificates and more degrees. Because with every certificate, it shows that we have gone through the quality check. And that's sad, no? So what can we do? Well, the best you can do in this century is to become a self-learner. Use the school you carry in your pocket. You want an answer to something? Google it. You want to learn a new course? Use the free online educational portals. Whether you want to learn a new skill, a new language, or get connected with a mentor, use the school you carry in your pocket. But wait, didn't everyone tell us, go to school, get good grades, you'll get into a good college, which will get you a good job, and you'll be set for life? Time for reality check. Which also brings me to the third way of failing in this century. And you can fail in this century if you get settled with your job. 20 years ago, you can have one skill, one degree, and one job, and you were set for life. But in this information age, this is not true. The highest paying jobs of today didn't even exist 5 years ago. And the jobs that exist today might not even exist in 5 years. All this disruption is caused by technology around us. Cashiers at supermarkets being replaced by self-checkout machines. There are robots replacing human labor in factories. In fact, more than 500,000 robots they were sold in the last 2 years. And this disruption is not limited only to factories or supermarkets. Robots have started performing surgeries on us. There are softwares which are writing news these days. So, whichever industry you are in, you will be disrupted. Technology is going to disrupt you. Well, what can we do in that case? Despite this disruption, there are two very interesting phenomena which we'll witness. Firstly, jobs will not die out. They would only move from one sector to another, which would definitely require us to update our skills regularly. We will have to work a little harder, but we'll be there. Just the way when computers came, everybody thought, oh my God, I'm going to go jobless now. Computers are going to take over us. But interestingly, computers created so many jobs. Secondly, we will get freedom from all these mundane tasks we do these days. Machines will take over them. We will have a lot more free time to do much better things. So the best you can do to yourself to thrive in this century is to be open, be proactive, keep on updating your skills. The worst you can do to yourself is to get complacent with your job, and you will be disrupted. Well, let's talk about connectivity and social media these days. We are so well connected. But you know, it can fail you. It can make you fail. Yes, you can fail in this century if you keep on doing blah, blah, blah. I would like to introduce two very interesting personalities, Connor Reilly and Ryan Graves. So Connor Reilly, a fresh college graduate, was offered a job by Cisco. She was happy about it, but just to be a little cool, she tweeted, "Cisco just offered me a job. Now I will have to weigh the utility of fatty paycheck against daily commute to San Jose and hating my work." Well, in only half an hour, a Cisco employee spotted her tweet, to which he replied, "Who is your hiring manager? I am sure he would love to know your attitude even before you have started your work." Well, you can imagine the consequences. Definitely, they were not good for. Let's talk about Ryan Graves now. Back in 2010, he was working for General Electric, just an engineer. And then one day, he spotted a tweet by the CEO of Uber, which said, looking for a business developer or a product manager. Any tips? To which Ryan replied, "Here's a tip, email me." and tweeted his email address. They both got in touch via Twitter. And Ryan was later offered a job at Uber. Back in 2010, he was just a normal engineer. Today, he is one of the board of directors of the Uber, and his worth is more than $2 billion. This is the power of connectivity these days. We broadcast our thoughts, our ideas, our opinions to more than 2 billion people on a regular basis. Be it via Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, LinkedIn, blog post. We are communicating with the world 24/7. So if we fail to communicate effectively in this 21st century, and we keep on doing blah, blah, blah all the time, we will fail. So guys, don't do that. Let's talk about another way of failing in this century. Focus. Focus is the key ingredient to success. We all know that. But what is happening to our focus in this 21st century? Let's look at it. When we are out with our friends, we are like, I'm sorry. Our relationships today, they have become like, oops. Children, they play today, but like, today, we have lost our focus to these little devices around us. We panic when we are not able to locate them. We feel the need to check them every 5 minutes, that too without a reason. We feel the urge to reply to those messages and emails instantly. And we often feel guilty on not doing so. Today, we can't focus on even the simplest tasks. Because there's a beep on my phone, I need to check the notification I've got. So you will fail in this century if you will lose your focus to these devices around. You will fail if you forget that you need to control these devices instead of these devices controlling you. So guys, now I have helped you identify 5 major ways you can fail in this century. Now it is up to you to eliminate them, and success is all yours. Thank you.